I feel like we were just talking about this not that long ago, maybe a Friday or so ago. Yeah, Microsoft is dropping the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which is coming to no surprise at all because they have like increased their prices twice, I think, in the past 12 or 13 months or something. The past 18 months, however many months it's been not that long ago. They just keep raising the prices and stuff. But yeah, so here we go. Microsoft drops the prices of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And new Call of Duty games removed from day one availability and will get added in 1 year. Oh, let's talk about it. Yeah. So Microsoft has decided that it's no longer going to be adding first party. Okay, I'm sorry. They were talking about not adding their first party stuff to it and adding it to a new Game Pass or whatnot, but this actually seems like a good compromise because this is the problem with Game Pass. Game Pass is great. I love Game Pass. Game Pass is also way too expensive now for people to have it. So with this, Microsoft has dropped the price of Game Pass Ultimate from $29 to $99 to about $22.99 a month, which is better. It's not as good as it once was. But yeah, the problem is Microsoft loses a lot of money with Game Pass, right? The fact that they've been putting everything on Game Pass day one and stuff. It's like they put out a new game, Call of Duty comes out. This last Call of Duty sales were abysmal. And part of the reason is it was on Game Pass. Never mind the fact that it was just a really bad game altogether and everybody hated it collectively. But being on Game Pass just did not help it at all because when it comes down to it, you sit there and you get it on Game Pass, or I'm sorry, you buy Game Pass to get it. Even if you are paying $30 a month for Game Pass, you get that access to like 500 more other games as well while doing it. And then if you don't like it, you just don't. No, never mind. Meanwhile, Call of Duty came out and it was what, a full priced game, I think, probably around $70-$60, something like that. So you essentially paid for half the price to try this game out and a bunch of other games. And then you didn't actually pay for the game, so they didn't get the sales either. Right? And that's the problem, is they didn't get the sales for the games itself, which is why it's a problem when they do that. So this idea of adding it a year later actually works much better because then you can give people access to it and stuff at some point. However, being Call of Duty, which seems to be a yearly release, I don't know how well that's going to really do on that front. But yeah, I guess there's that. But let's see what they had to say exactly here, because our players cover a wide breadth of geographies, preferences, and tastes. So while there isn't a single model that best fit everyone, this chain responds to a lot of feedback we're getting so far, Microsoft said in a statement. We'll continue to listen and learn. Yeah, the game, it's too expensive. That's the thing. That's what everybody was saying. Look, this is expensive. We're not paying for it anymore. But yeah, apparently this move follows last week's leaked memo. Oh, that's right, it was a leaked memo. I'm sorry, I thought it was a press release. I forgot it was a leak. But the new Nintendo Microsoft Gaming CEO Asha Sharma, I can't say her name anyway, in which she told Xbox team Game Pass has become too expensive for players, so we need to better value the equation. Which is true. It really is too expensive. As we subsequently reported that Sharma and Xbox leadership team were considering removing Call of Duty from the day one availability of Game Pass. But apparently Sharma named to her post following long-term Xbox boss Phil Spencer's retirement in February isn't wasting time trying to repair Xbox trust in the gaming community following last year's eye-watering 50% price increase. Now, even if you purchase this year's inevitable Call of Duty, presumably it stays $60 or $70. You can come out ahead, blah blah blah. Anyway, so yeah, they've come to the realization that when you put your new stuff like immediately up there for a subscription service that That I guess the subscription service is what they were what was it? They were banking on, right? Like this was going to be the thing that was going to make all the money for Xbox. Apparently, it is not doing what it was supposed to do, and it probably has something to do with the fact that they did increase the prices like twice in the past several years or so. They just kept increasing those prices further and further, and making it less of a deal for people to play. But Xbox has been on a steady decline since everything is an Xbox right now, and they're trying to bring that back. So this idea of removing their first party titles from Game Pass is actually probably a good move on them. Is it a good move for the players? Not really, because Xbox. Yeah, if I could pay $30 or $25 or $20 to try a brand new game that's about $60-$70, something like that, I'd rather do that than buying the game straight up and then finding out I hate it. But that's just me. What do you think down in the comments below?